had an opportunity to harvest my own deer. My dad got this one in an accident this morning. A little buck. I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how I skin them, which makes it clean and efficient for me. The initial cut runs from the inside of the leg, follow the white on the deer down to the vent, cut around the vent or butthole, depending on how you want to say it. Get y'all clipped into this harness here, and I'll show y'all how I prep them for the gambrel itself. Once you skin most of this out, you should be able to just pull on it. To where I'm just trying to get it to where this part here is open. Give it a good pull. If it's open, I can get the gambrel in there. Same thing on this side. Get a good grip on it. Give it a good pull. Now, this right here is a scent gland. Once you touch that, get past it, you want to make sure you wash your hands, because any meat you touch, you'll contaminate. And a lot of people don't realize once you touch that and then you touch the meat, it gives it a gamey flavor. So that's prep. I'm gonna wash my hands, get them hung up, and I'll show y'all the next cuts. Alright, I'm trying to talk over the dog doing its thing. It's a deer dog, and I'm trying to skin this on at my dad's place, so things are a little different at my setup. But real quick, it's set up on the gambrel so that it's just hanging here. Like I said, don't touch that and then touch the meat, it'll cause contamination. Should just be able to pull down. It'll free up minimal cuts on your deer itself. So that's tucked into itself, so you're not touching that. Just pull. You want to use downward pressure to push it down. Skin where the tailbone is, skin in between, so you're connecting them. You use your fingers and just work it. Give it a pull. What I like to do is just wring that tail, because on this deer hide it has no holes in it unless I put it in there with a knife. Strip the tail out, so I got a full tail for when I do a rug with it. Alright, just give it a good pull. Alright, now that we're to the front, I like to use my legs, straddle the front legs, so that way I can hold the deer steady. I'm gonna come, this is exactly what you think it is since it's a buck. I'm gonna cut a V on either side of it. That way I can get rid of it. Just follow it up. Off the deer hide. Cut that. That off. And since I didn't cut the V on this side, I'll just trim off the scrotum off of it, toss it on the ground, I'm done messing with it. Alright. Where I started the V here, I'm just gonna split down. I'm never gonna go inside this gut section. This is asking for trouble. Pretty girl, chill. Just staying just under the skin and working that blade knife in so I don't hit guts or bone, and I can take it straight down this brisket section. Now when I get so far, I'm gonna raise it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright, super simple part right now. Put the knife over here. Alright, you just grab, pull down, grab, pull down. When you get to this back side, you're gonna grab that tail or back into the hide, put your knee on it, and just put your weight onto it. And it'll lower it all the way down to where you got your cut. A lot of times deer are able to be pulled super easy. No worries. Takes about 10 minutes when I'm not trying to film, so actually probably less. Right. Let me get it raised up and I'll get back to show y'all how I do this front part. Alright, front part. Really simple. Normally save these front feet for making coat racks and stuff. Start at this first elbow here, not the ankle, but this elbow here. You're gonna be to this side of it. Run your knife up the front of this to where you cut the where you freed it up from the rest. Same thing on this side, not the ankle, but the front elbow joint. Start towards the ankle side of it, go straight towards the front. Cut through, good to go. All right. Come down, you're gonna ring this. Like so. Get a hand in there. I do a lot of thumb work in it so I can not put holes in it. Push that leg forward, pull down. Free up a bunch of that. I'll do the same on this one. I'll try to get that on video. Front leg up, pull down on that leg. And it'll connect it to the rest of it where you did that. Just grab and work it down. Now to the neck. What I want to do is come where I split this front section all the way down to his throat. That white patch on his throat is what you want to get to. And give it a pull. Pull it all the way to the back of his head. Gives you the most deer hide and neck roast all being freed up at the same time. Pretty girl. Yeah, that's gonna be good for you too. Cut off the hide, and that's it. It's a done skinned deer hide, no holes. The cut and quarter part I'll do here in a minute while I let him drain out a little bit, get some of the blood out of him, but I think that's for YouTube to see. Alright, give it a good rinse, cool it off real fast. Real quick on these, you just cut that joint. And give it a good wring. All the major tendons. Give it a pop to where it's floppy. Cut through the remaining tendons. That'll go to my house for the coat rack. Grab this front shoulder where it goes to the rib cage. You can follow it through. There's a seam you'll see once you get through that initial part, and you just cut all this clear tendon looking stuff so you come through the other side and follow it all the way through. You split the meat from here to here so your ribs have some meat and your shoulder has some meat. Toss it in the cooler. Same thing with this leg. Oh, didn't get that tendon. Gives it a pop, good clean pop at the joint. No worries. So it's a little more difficult for me. Yeah, just follow that same area. Clears up front shoulder. Gives you plenty of meat on the ribs too. Alright. Come to this. You got the back side here. This is the backbone. Follow anything here that way is going to be your hams. So what I like to do is make a good cut right there. Follow it down. You can feel the bones in there that you're following the spine till you get to the ribs. Follow those ribs down. Be your neck roast section here. So you just skin that back strap all the way up to the middle of the spine. This will get the most meat off of this carcass. This is the spine. You just follow it up. Since I'm gonna save those neck roasts. There it is, it's free. That's your back strap. One side of it. Everything comes in a pair. Same thing on this side. Match my cut. So get a good nice ham cut. This side I'm gonna do different because I cut with my right hand so I can guide with my left. Just follow this upper part all the way down. This is just silver skin. It'll be trimmed off later. Make sure to toss that over to the dog. So, skinned off that part, and I'm just gonna bring it down to about the same spot I was on this side of the ribs. That's your other back strap. Alright, trim this up a little bit. Alright. Next part is we're going to get into the gut section. So, trim this up, free it up from the hams. That's all I'm doing. You don't want to cut too far into this because you've got tenderloins in here. You're just going to want to stay on the outside edge. Use your fingers to guide it. His ribs are going to be a good meal. I like to take and just work my way, following the ribs. Don't want to hit any of the innards here, but I got to free up some stuff. That way I can access the inside of this. Right. Up here you got the bladder and all that fun stuff. And you just trim around it. A good long knife helps with this. Helps if you have somebody holding too, but yeah, good long knife. Cut all the way around it to where it'll pull out. It's all empty and clear there. Let's start working some of these. Get it out of here. Now this These little part here and here, that's your tenderloins. You don't want to mess those up. It's best not to do a lot of work there when you're cutting on the guts. Now, this is the diaphragm. I'm just gonna work on, make sure I'm not cutting the stomach or anything. All right. Now, since I cut his head off here, I can reach in here, get a hold of the esophagus, just give it a pull, and it should, nice and gently, pull right out. That frees up my heart. So get it out of his casing. Pop goes the weasel. Heart's good. And it's a deer heart. Really good rich red meat. Right, I'm not going to save the liver and stuff because, like I said, this one was in an accident. I don't know what organs got damaged, but I know the heart looked good. Cut away the diaphragm. Guts are free. Now I'm going to take and get the tenderloins out of here. So they got to run in the house and grab a saw for the ribs and stuff. Take the tenderloin. The tenderloins actually start up here, so you just give it a good cut. Follow those ribs along this edge. Now this is tender, very, very tender. So, hint on the tenderloin, your thumb can actually rip this meat. And you just work it away from the lower part of the rib cage there, the backbone, to where you get that beautiful chunk of meat. Same thing on that other side. Except you gotta, like I said, start up here, work your way in, follow the backbone.
Number 1 foil packer going out.
Just work it down. Bam. Another perfect little chunk of meat. Alright, I'm gonna run in and get the saw, free up the ribs here. Alright, got the saw. Probably seen a couple hundred deer or hogs. Gonna take and split it. Just down the middle here. Come on this side of it. Cut that sternum out. Come down this side of the rib. There's a rack of ribs. Same thing on this side. Just gonna follow those ribs. Maybe. That's good enough. Set that back over here. Right. Real quick. That's the other rack of ribs. Tossed in the cooler. Alright. Now the neck roast. It's taken A lot of extra meat inside here. You follow around where the front of the ribs are. I'll skin that off. Every little bit of meat counts. I'm just cutting through all the meat. Take and grab it, try to give it a good spin. Just get a good flex in it anywhere I can. To free this neck roast up. Not as easy as it sounds, because I gotta, with it going through rigor mortis, that makes it. Give it a good spin. It's free. One thing holding it. Can be tendons. And it's free. It's neck roast. When you get it lowered down, and I'll free up hand. Just cut through this Achilles tendon. One leg is going to drop free. Get rid of this leg. Well, now I'll leave it on there to give me a handle. Alright, you're going to find where this splits the hams. And you're going to follow that pelvic bone down all the way around. You'll feel it. It's pretty solid right there. So when you pop, you'll hit this ball joint and cut around that ball joint. All the rest of this is going to be free after that. It's only meat holding it to that one back section. And just to get as much meat out of that back section, you just carefully work it till you hit that spine again, and it's free. Ham goes in the cooler. Give you a chance to cut your tendons around the joint. Pretty good pop. That ham's free. Ready to be used for this ham gets a little extra challenging. I'm going to try to do it backwards. This ham's going to stay. This section here is going to fall away. So I'm going to come to either side. Same setup. This opposite side. I'm going to pull on this pelvis bone and work it. Feeling this bone all the way across. Like, there's the bone. There's the ball joint. So once he's out of socket, you just skin this like that's bone. all the way to, I guess it's still all bone. You get as much as you can off this spinal column, and bam, that's it. That's the only waste on that deer, is that little bit of guts and that spinal column. All right, you're gonna make sure you got a real good grip on this hand. You're gonna cut this leg, Achilles tendon, leg comes on. Cut all these tendons. So that'll free it up. Bam, that leg's free. Those all, like I said, be coat racks, and the deer hide will be a blanket or rug. We'll get some ice on this.